Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. I've been gone for some time, so this video is quite late, but we got the entire remainder of the set list for set 2 of One Piece Paramount War, and oh boy, I was hoping they would do slightly more of these before they drop them all in one go, but we got about 50 cards, 60 cards in one go, so that's fun. It was probably closer to 40, I don't know how many it was a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and blaze through these and really go through the most important ones, so you are all caught up to date, and then you can look forward to more set 2 and, well, set 1 content soon, as well as we're approaching the English release. Finally, it's only a month away, finally, so close. God, I need it now. Let's go ahead and get started. So, we begin with AiboYT Bay. This is a 1-drop 2k, 1k counter, Don 1. This character can also attack your opponent's active characters. So this this whole, like, you know, yeah, okay, cool, the attacking active characters is good. However, you know, 3k, what the hell are you doing with 3k? You've got to don this up so many times for it to be worth it, where it's just like, just let me play a Robin or something instead, you know, like a Beppo, right, the promo Beppo. I don't think this is super good, however, it's cheap. And with all cheap cards, lore comes into the picture, and there's a lot of this cheap red weird bandit thing, which we'll come to in a second, which is very interesting. We got AiboYT alt art. Sorry, just got to mention that one. AiboYT. Sorry. Also the alt art Don. Very nice. I will be wanting a large number of those. Anyway, okay. So we got Dogra. So this is a 1-drop 2k mountain bandit. Activate main. You may rest this card, play up to 1, cost 1 red character other than Dogra from your hand. 1k counter. So obviously this is really good in just ramping up lore like as fast as humanly possible, and it will be interesting to see how the lore deck shapes up in set 2, because this feels like something you could very easily just throw in. We got our first 3-cost counter of this new style, which we're probably going to be seeing become more frequent. So this is 3-sword style Onigiri. Counter up to one of your leaders or characters gains 6k power during this battle. Then you may play up to 1 cost 3 or lower character card without effects from your hand. And as a trigger, you may rest up to one of your opponent's leader or cost 5 or lower characters. So obviously the trigger is pretty good. The main effect, obviously good. So 6k is huge. And I believe this would trigger Sanji. I don't think Sanji was during your turn anyway, that Sanji leader. So that's synergistic too. However, you know, it's only really later on in the game where you actually would need something like this. You know, to be 6k counter, it's quite hefty. Early on in the game, it's massive overkill. But, you know, it's potentially a very nice option to have. I think it's just going to be one of those ones we need to test out, because the 2-drop 4ks seemed like they might be a little bit overkill in theory during set 1, but they ended up being really, really good. So it's entirely possible this will be the exact same, and later on in the game, this is going to be something saving your bacon. We got a 1-drop 2k in Doflamingo. On play, look at the top 3 and then stack them. So obviously this is very nice in the Doflamingo leader deck for stacking. And then Don 1 when attacking, trash a card from your hand, bounce up to one of your opponent's cost 1 or lower characters. Return to the bottom of the deck. So this is a really nice card in Doflamingo. The reason I say that is because it's going to basically delete chump blockers on attack if you want to. But otherwise you can just use it to stack the deck very cheaply. This is, you know, strictly, not strictly better than Perona, but I mean for all intents and purposes it is, because you can... It's a viable target for Doflamingo to top of the deck and everything. So, yeah, it doesn't have counter itself, though. That's the only thing. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But it probably will see play in Doflamingo decks. We got a vanilla 3k here. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is a card I think is going to be really good. This is Arabesque Brickfist. 2k, cost 2, sorry. Main, return up to 1, cost 4 or lower character to its owner's hand, and trigger activate the card main's effect. This card's main effect. For only 2 dons to bounce a 4 cost or lower, I think that's really good. That's very efficient, right? 4 cost or lower is hitting a large, you know, swath of the card pool, and you know, it's relevant. I really do think it's relevant. I will be surprised if this doesn't end up seeing some play. You know, I feel like decks like Crocodile are going to love this, and you know, it's just nice for blue to have this option in general. I think this is going to be good in Eva. Yeah, I just think this is quite a good card, and I'll be very surprised if it doesn't see some play. Deathwink, we got our blue version of these 6k events, so counter up to one of your leaders character against 6k of this battle. Then draw until you have 2 cards in your hand, so obviously if this is the last card, or you only got 1 card left, then you're going to be refilling, which is obviously really nice, synergistic with Eva, and obviously, you know, nice with the Crocodile too, though I think Crocodile will resolve before this, so you won't get as much value. And then the trigger, return up to 1 cost 7 or lower character to its hand, so the trigger is a Sables effect. This is interesting. Is this going to be worthy of a 4 of? Honestly, I don't fucking know. Probably more likely in blue, in Eva, because you are going to be emptying your hand every turn, so you might actually need something like this to give you that kind of guarding power. So we will see, but definitely interesting. Then we got a 2k, 1-drop 2k in purple, which says your Blugori gains blocker. Fine. Solitaire, Vanilla, Daifugo, on play, Don -2, play up to 1/3 cost or lower character with Smile other than Daifugo from your hand. Board spam, it's fairly broad, like there's a lot of Smile attributed cards, so maybe this will be okay in a sort of like spammy strategy, but I don't know. I'm kind of doubtful. Bindiri World, 8-drop 8k, activate main, Don -8, and this becomes 800k. Fine, it's just 1 damage, like, and it's a Don -8, absolutely not worth it. I would rather choose the Kaido leader effect to guarantee trash. Yeah, bad card. Tsuru, this is a black 2k counter with an on-play to reduce one of your opponent's character's costs by 2 until the end of the turn. So just a nice option to have. You probably never want to play this card unless you find a way to bounce it back to your hand, but obviously there's no blue shenanigans just yet. So this is just going to be a 2k counter, which is a potential nice option to enable a kill or something if you really need it. This card, on the other hand, Sacred Jewel. So this is a 1-cost counter. You may trash 1 card from your hand. Choose up to 1 of your characters. Their character cannot be KO'd during this battle. So this is an okay card, right? This basically says, like, you know, turn this card and any other card in your hand into as much counter as is required. On average, 2 cards is going to be about 3k's worth of counter, roughly, on average, depending on the deck, obviously, but like, you know, so about 3k. So essentially, if your opponent is swinging in with more than that would require a card, then this is obviously really, really good. And this is way better if you're discarding a card without counter, right? This is something that's giving you much more value. And obviously, you want to be protecting your characters in black. You want to keep them around. And in general, you want to be protecting your characters because that's how you win the game. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty solid main effect. The trigger lets you remove stages. And stages might be pretty important. I mean, certainly Onigashima is a one you would love to get rid of. So, yeah, I think this is probably going to see some play in black. I think it's quite good, though there is another event we will come to, which is way better and is definitely going to be a 4 of. We've got Onigumo. This is a 5-drop 6k, fine. 1k counter. If there's cost 0 on the field, this gains banish. So this is going to be part of that smoker, setting everything to 0 cost deck, which could be pretty decent. We will need to see this, but this feels like it will slot quite nicely into there. Then we've got Minotaurus. This is a 4-drop 5k, 1k counter, double attack on KO if your leader is impelled down, add a Don to your cost area rested. This seems pretty good, but then you have to play Magellan, and that doesn't seem worth it to me. Then we got Flower Capital. This is a Wano Country stage. Activate main. You may trash a Wano Country card and rest this to activate 1 Don. This is garbage. I would not bother. This is not good. Okay, then we have got a load of vanillas will be part of this. So we got a 4-drop 6k for Whitebeard Pirates, a 5-drop 7k for Whitebeard Pirates, a 6-drop 8k for Whitebeard Pirates. We got Jozu. This is a 4-drop 2k counter, 4k power. Don 1 if you have less than 2 life and your leader is Whitebeard Pirates. This character gains Rush. So this will be 5-drop 5k Rusher in Whitebeard. Yes, this is going to be a staple 4 of in Whitebeard. I think that's fairly clear. This is very good. Then we've got Blenheim. This is a Whitebeard Pirates 2-drop 3k blocker. No counter. I don't really think this is going to be worth it. Makino. This is a 1-drop 0k Windmill Village. Activate main. You may rest this character up to 1 of your red characters. It costs 1, gains 3k power during this turn, and this is a 2k counter. So in this weird spammy red deck, this is going to be really good. I feel like this is just made for lore, right? Because you can play this, use this activate main, give some power, use lore, bounce this back, play something else. Maybe the green lore. Do some more shenanigans. Buff power up, all sorts of stuff. I think this is going to be really nice in that lore deck, which is looking to have a crazy high ceiling going into set 2. It's probably going to be really difficult to play, unless there's some sort of Ooga Booga strat that prevails. Then we've got Magra. This is a 1-drop 2k red 1k counter on play. One of your red characters that costs 1 gains 3k power until the end of the turn. So this is obviously very similar to Makino. So this is again going to be really interesting to see what happens there with lore. Then we've got Master Juice. This is a 2-drop 2k counter, 3k power. Spade Pirates, Don 2 when attacking, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with 2k power or less. So obviously, I believe this is very similar to the Beppo, if not identical, with different attributes. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, nice to have more options of this and more 2k counters in red. Meteor Volcano. This is a 2-cost Navy event. Main, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. Trigger, draw 2 and trash 1. So this is potentially very strong. I feel like it probably isn't going to be amazing. It might not be the main one you go for, but I don't know. It could be really good. We'll need to just test it out and see how often. I don't know. With something like the turn after you play Aokiji, this is nuking 6 or so lower, so it's crazy. This is probably worth playing. This in Garp is really nice because like this is amazing in Garp, right? Because you can just kill anything pretty much. So yeah, in Garp I feel like this is going to be a 4. Alright, then we got Rakio. This is a 3-drop 4k, Whitebeard Pirates, Don 1 on your turn. All your characters with Whitebeard Pirates gain 1k power. Hey, that's pretty good. And it's just like a generic buff. It works. Yeah, probably quite nice in Whitebeard Pirates. I reckon you'll be seeing that one season play. Ice Age. Here is the Broken Black event. So this is a cost 1 Navy. Give up to one of your opponent's characters, -5 cost during this turn. Okay, cool. And then the trigger is just KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, 4 of in every black deck. Instantly, now till the end of time. This is broken, literally all of them. Does everything you want to be. Yeah, fucking silly. Silly good card. Like, so good for no reason. Then we've got Seaquake. We have a event for the Whitebeard Pirates here. Main, if your leader has Whitebeard Pirates in his type, K up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3,000 power or less. Trigger, one of your opponent's leaders or characters gains -3,000 power for this turn. So this is interesting. It's kind of like having access to a cheap Red Hawk, obviously with much lower, but if you are running the cards that combo to like reduce power, then it's better, but I feel like I'd rather just play Red Hawk. It seems okay. We got Monkey D. Garp. We have this boy is our 2k counter for black, another one. Don 2, when attacking, count one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0 as 2k counter. I don't really feel like you want to be playing this card like it is a 2k counter. You want to be using it to actually guard. But, you know, in just getting that free removal, you know, Don 2, you're swinging for 5, so it's relevant. And it is just popping. And obviously this in red Garp is going to be great because you put those 2 Dons onto this guy. You're reducing something's cost by 2 just by nature of doing whatever the hell your deck is doing anyway. And then you just keep buffing this up and suddenly you can remove anything. So in red Garp, unsurprisingly, red-black Garp, this is very, very good. Maybe in the other ones it's less good. But yeah, this is very nice in red-black Garp. Then we've got Whitebeard Pirates. This is the standard check top 5 and Whitebeard Pirates. This is good. Oh, here we go. Another really silly card that I don't know why exists. So, you may be a fool, but I still love you. Main, if you have 3 or less life cards, you cannot add life cards to your hand using your own effects during this turn. So, yep, for 1, just don't use the drawback of Whitebeard. And then trigger up to one of your leaders gains 1k power during this turn. So, also just make yourself 7k. Yeah, very like there's a number of cards in the set where I look at and I go, damn, that's a staple 4 of. This is another one of them. It's like this, Ice Age, like, damn, these are crazy. Then we have got Helmeppo. This is a 3-drop 3k black card. When attacking, reduce by 2 the cost up to one of your opponent's characters. Then there's a character with a cost of 0 in play. This character gets 2k power for the turn. So suddenly it will be a 3-drop, not free, it will be a 3-drop 5k with a 1k counter, as long as you are getting that ability off. And you can obviously, in red-black Garp, this becomes very, very easy to do because you can just you know, add as many Dons on as you need to make that happen. It has a trigger to play this card, and it's a 1k counter. I think this is a really good card in red-black Garp. In the other black builds, Smoker, yes. The rest, not so much, but I think this is just generically quite a nice card. I'm a fan. Helmeppo, solid W. Then we've got Moby Dick. On your turn, if you have 1 or less life cards, your Edward Newgate and all your characters with a type including Whitebeard Pirates gain 2k power. Trigger, play this card. So, yep, you just get to be fucking 8k for no reason. What the fuck? Yeah, again, staple in Whitebeard. Guys, Whitebeard is looking so insane. If it is not like top tier, I'm going to be so baffed. Like, I just don't know how it's not going to happen. I just don't understand how that would not happen. It's crazy. Then we got a vanilla Usopp. We got a Shishilian. This is a 2-cost 3k Mink on play for 2. Set one of your Minks characters the cost of 5 or less to active, and it has a 1k counter. I think this is very, very nice, actually, in a Mink-based deck. That we don't really have that yet, but it might form. Then we've got Jinbei, vanilla, whatever. Toto Chopper, vanilla. Don 1, oh, sorry, not vanilla. Don 1, when attacking, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 less, and it's 2k counter. So having this film 2k counter is going to be nice. You know, it's an okay effect on attack. Like, it's swinging for 3k, like, whatever. But, again, with lore, where we were looking at potentially film being played anyway, this is cheap, something you can play easily, you can play early, and you can, you know, remove a blocker from just being something you have to worry about before bouncing it. Play something red, like a Rush Luffy. So, alright, it's interesting, I'm just saying. Then we've got Nekomamushi. This is a Mink, which is a blocker, 3.4k. This is fine. Then we've got Frankie, Vanilla, whatever. Yamato. You can also treat this. You also treat this card's name as Kazuki Odin. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. It's pretty good on play. 4-drop 6k. It's efficient stat-wise. It's vanilla tier. Yeah, this is it's a good card. I think this is pretty good. I don't know how strong it'll be overall, but yeah, nice option. Then we've got Wanda. This is a Mink card, 2-drop 3k. On play, play up to one Mink-style character card other than Wanda with a cost of 3 or less from your hand and a 1k counter. So another one of these spammy fill the board types of things. Looks like that's what green is doing fairly well. Then we've got Diable Jambe Venaison Shoot. This is a 2-cost green event. KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 4 or less. Not bad. Trigger, play up to one character card with a cost of 4 or less, and no base effects from your hand, so play vanilla. Again, it's going to be in that vanilla deck. It might be good. You know, stats are good. It's early in the game. Stats are strong, so it's possible, but it's boring. Then we've got Paradise Totsuka, 2-drop event, main, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, and trigger, KO up to one of your opponent's, sorry, 1 cost, and then KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less. I would just rather play Straw Sword, to be honest with you. I don't like having that cost restriction. Straw Sword just lets me rest anything. It's much better. And we've got Land Wild, the card sucks. Okay, then we got Kabaji, 2-drop 3k on play. If you have a Moji in play, draw 2 and trash 1. So potentially nice, but you're not really playing anything that valuable, so eh. Vanilla Crocodile, nice option for blue to have, but whatever. Vanilla Gecko Moria, Vanilla Dracula Mihawk. Bartholomew Kuma, 3-drop 3k. It is a Shichibukai. On play, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Shichibukai and add it to your hand. Then place the rest on the top or bottom of the deck in any order, and it's a 1k counter, so this is going to +1 you. And you can potentially stack a card for your Doflamingo effect. Yes, this card is nice. This is definitely nice. And it's a 1k counter, so you can bounce it back to your hand with something, and it's actually guarding. Oh, crazy. Then we got Morley. This is a giant revolutionary army. When attacking, if you have 1 or less cards in your hand, your opponent cannot activate the blocker of any character with a cost of 5 or less during this battle, and it's a 1k counter. This could potentially be quite nice. Nice option for blue to have. Probably not doing anything crazy, but yeah. We got our Baroque Work support, and it sucks. On play, add a blue event card with cost of 1 from your trash to your hand. It doesn't actually suck, but it does. It's just specifically cost of 1, not 1 or less. It's a 1k counter though, and I believe it does synergize with all the Baroque Work stuff. So I don't know, it might be decent. Then we've got Impel Down All Stars. This is a crazy event. You may trash 2 cards from your hand. If your leader has the Impel Down type, draw up to 2 cards. Trigger, draw 2 cards. I say crazy, complete exaggeration. Trigger, very, very nice to just +2. The main is kind of whatever, but filtering out like bad events from your hand is obviously going to be nice. So you probably play this in the Eva deck. New Karma Land, 1 cost Impel Down stage. Activate main, you may rest this stage. If your leader is Ivankov, draw 1, then trash 1. Then you may trash up 3 cards from your hand. So you can just fully empty out your hand if you want, or this will just help you filter. This is probably a good thing to play as well, just like, you know, you're at the whims of RNG, so just increasing your odds of seeing something decent are absolutely going to be worth that space. Then we've got Shiki. This is a 2-drop 3k film card, 1k counter. Trigger, Don -1. Play this card. This is so bad. It's a 2k counter, but this is so bad. Yeah. Then we've got Douglas Bullet, another one. This is a film on play, Don -1. Rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, and it's a 1k counter. Having another film card is nice, but I don't really think this is doing too much, and the other Douglas Bullet is way better. Then we have got Dobon, this is bad. Domino, this is a 2-drop 2k blocker. Yep, chump blocker, but you know, Domino, so W. Then we got Minotaur, the full version here, whatever. Sphinx, bad. Hydra, purple event, cost 1, Impel Down. Don -1, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters -3k power during this turn. Trigger, if your opponent has 6 or more Don cards in the field, they return a Don. I don't think this whole return a Don thing is going to be very good, because for it to really do anything, you need to be returning a significant amount early on in the game to like, and it's just like your opponent can just play around it by just like, you know, not attacking or attacking your creatures or something, and then like what your deck's doing nothing. So yeah, I think this is like a fad, which if it ever gets popular will just immediately get countered, so whatever. This -3k power thing could be good in like purple red, but that doesn't exist yet, so it is what it is. Venom Road, main, add up to 1 Don card for your Don deck and set it as active, so that's okay. And trigger if your opponent has the usual thing, so ramping and whatever. It's generic ramp, so you know that's all right, but you want to be doing stuff on your turns. Then we've got the Impel Down stage. Activate main, you may trash one card from your hand and rest this stage. Look at 3 cards on top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Impel Down type card, add to your hand and place the rest. So this is going to plus you, it's going to let you filter. If this let you plus, I'd be like, damn, this is crazy. Impel Down might actually be worth playing. Now, I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's really worth it. Well, I mean, obviously it's fine, but like, you know, you got to, I don't want to play Magellan. Then we got Iska, black character, 3-drop, 4k. Don 1, once per turn, when this character battles and KOs your opponent's character, set this character as active. Hey, that's pretty good. This is Battle Hawkins, but cheaper. Being able to play this on turn 2 and suddenly having that crazy value is very scary. This card is good. However, I'm not entirely sure how often you're going to want to be battling opponent's characters in black. I feel like you want to be hard removing them, but we'll see. Obviously, there's going to be cards that are immune to that hard removal. But yeah, very nice option to have. You know, has counter, very reasonable. Yeah, good. Then we got backguard, Kobe. On play, you may trash a card from your hand, carry up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less, and it's a 1k counter. This will probably see play. It's not horribly statted. You can just don it up once and it's fine. And then you get that on play. Again, in Red Black Garp, it's going to be so free to just start deleting stuff. I really feel like Red Black Garp is going to be very strong with all these like on play like deletes. And the fact that everything that synergizes really, really well. I am very excited to play that. Strawberry, 4-drop 5k. When attacking, if there's a character with a cost of 0, your opponent cannot activate block of any character with a cost of 5 less during this battle. So again, synergistic with that Smoker and this Garp deck, potentially pretty decent. Then we've got Smoker. This character cannot be KO'd by effects. When attacking, if there is a character with a cost of 0, this character gains 2k power during this battle. So this is a 3-drop 6k. In that case, again, in the Smoker deck or in the Red-Black Garp deck, this is going to be free. Very, very good. It is. I do feel like Red-Black Garp is just going to be the way to go because like you're getting such high value that it seems like it's going to be tough to beat. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it'll be really good. Sengoku, 2-drop 3k, Don 1 when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn. I'm doubtful this is going to see any play. Sentomaru, trigger play this card, this is bad. Belmare, 1-drop 1k, activate main, you may rest this character, give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. Then, up to one of your leaders or characters gains 1k power during this turn. This is a 1k counter. I get it, but like, I don't know, this is something your opponent can just very easily attack over. I feel like I'd rather just play the stage at that point in time, like just play the Marineford stage. And sacrifice that extra 1k power each turn to just gain that protection because this is like really, really easy to remove. So, And I believe that is it. There's a bunch of alt arts. You saw them all there. Whew. Speed run that as fast as I could. God damn, I am tired. Yeah, set 2 looking nuts. I am so excited to start playing this set. Waiting for all those juicy proxies to go up on One Piece Card Game Dev so I can start playing. But if you guys are excited for this set, please do like the video. If you enjoyed this analysis, quick talk over, please do like and let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know if you think I over or underrated any cards. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content. But I also make videos on Gate Ruler, Lorcana, and Battle Spirit. So if you're interested in any of those, you should subscribe as well. But that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.